Now another thing I could do, this had been up here. Another thing I could do is I could rotate this face like this. That way I can push this down into this spot where this had been. But that's okay, since we're going to be resetting it in a minute here. Now all I'll have to do is rotate it into the spot it needs to be, and then rotate this back up, and I have that. But I think it was here, and this was here. No, this was here. I think rotating this like that is a bit easier. You don't have to do all the hoity-toity stuff. And now we're going to try to solve the yellow face, because remember, white is opposite of yellow, yellow is opposite of white, whatever, you know what I mean. So I want to look for the yellow centers. I can ignore all the edge pieces and corners on any, or on all faces actually, because they obviously are not centers. So I want to look for the yellow centers. I see I have two here, and I've got one here and one here. Now, this yellow piece here is in the upper left. This is in the bottom right. I want to bring this into the upper right. But since this is the bottom right, it'll go into the bottom right on this face, and this face, and this face, and this face. Wait, this is the face I was starting with, and this face. So if I pulled it down here, it's not really gonna work, you notice. I want to solve all the centers, I'm gonna be making bars and then pairing them all up. But this doesn't make any bars. So, ooh, anyone want brownies? That's a kind of bar. Okay, let's stay focused. So this is in the bottom right, and so it would rotate down here. But I want to rotate it into the upper right. So all I have to do is rotate this piece into the upper right, or in this face. Pull this down, and there I've got a bar. But how in heaven's name am I going to get this bar over from here to here without destroying this white centerpiece? That's easy. I am going to have to demolish this white centerpiece a little bit, but as I said earlier, I am going to reset it. So all I'll have to do is rotate this bar into where it should be, up here, come opposite of, or 180 degrees of the white face. Now, rotate this out of this bar's path, so I can rotate this back into the white area, and I've done it. Now, I want to pair this yellow center up with this yellow center, but they're in the same minor belt, so it doesn't help at all. What I could do, however, is since this is in the upper right, I could rotate this until I find a piece that is alone, not in a bar, in the lower right, and that would be this piece here. And I could rotate it, breaking up the white face, unfortunately. Rotate this down into the bottom layer so that it slides neatly back, which automatically solves this. Or what I could do, and this had been like that, is I could rotate this piece into the lower right, since this is in the upper right. Do the whole same thing. You know the story by now. And yeah, whatever trips your trigger. Now, here's where it starts getting a little bit complicated. I couldn't just put any of the centers along this major belt in any of these 4 spots. It has to be specific spots, because if I put the centers willy-nilly around that major belt, the corners would not necessarily match up. The corners can only be one way when all is said and done. So what I will notice is that to the upside of, or rather on top of white, is blue. So let's start there for a moment. Now here is a good teaching moment. How would you think that you would pair these two up. I see I could pair this one up with this by just rotating it like that, but I want to teach you something here. The answer to solve this problem is simply rotate this down or rotate this down, doesn't matter. Rotate one of them down or rotate one of them over either direction, and if you're going to rotate this one, you want to spin it so that it is in the upper left, because this is in the upper right, and rotate it up. Or you rotate this down and spin it into the bottom right, since this is in the bottom left and you want to create a bar. And I'm just going to leave it like that. So now you've created a bar. Now, the reason you saw me just rotate this bar into, so it's facing this way instead of that way is because the only way I can rotate this cube or faces of this cube without breaking up the yellow and the white center is this way. And when I'm solving this major belt along here, after I've already solved the white and the yellow, I'm not going to really need to break these two up anymore. So I'm going to rotate the blue centers into a horizontal plane with how I'm going to be rotating the faces of the cube, so that I don't really create any conflicts. Okay, so now we need to find the other two blue centers that create another bar and essentially finish off the blue center. And so I see I have one here. Where's the other one? Right here. So this is in the upper left face. This is in the upper left face. Oh, great. So I want to rotate this into the upper right face so that I can create a bar. And then rotate it down. Then I just want to slip this one right in here. So I'm going to rotate it and up. Now, we can't just put any other faces in these three sides willy-nilly, or centers in these three sides willy-nilly. The next one to the right of blue has to be red. So we're going to work on that now. Let's see. Okay, so we've already got a red bar here. Sometimes it does that for you. It's a little bit helpful, just a little bit. So now I want to pair these two up, but I'm going to have to break up the blue face to do that. But that's okay, since we're going to be resetting it. So since this is in the upper left and this is in the bottom right, I want to get either this bottom right into the top right or this top left into the bottom left. I'm going to go with the bottom right to the top right. So I'm going to bring this up, pull it into the top right of this face, and pull it back down. And see, that's still safe. Now I want to get this bar, this red bar here, in congruent with this bar here, actually opposite, so that I create a square of red. But I can't just rotate this bar up, or I'd break this. And there's no way really to solve that unless I wanted to do one of these things. I should probably go through that the whole way. Unless I wanted to do one of these things. Instead, I can just do that from the get-go. So I can just start everything off by rotating this bar into this side, bringing it up, sliding it into a safe position, sliding this back down so that our centers are unimpaired. Now, remember what I said about the centers being opposite each other and which ones were opposite of which? Sorry for shaking the camera again. It's perched rather precariously and my arms are perched on these stands. So it's going to be moving around a little bit. Anyways, that little soliloquy probably gave you time to think and look at your own cube, or at least your own 3x3. What is opposite of blue? And the answer is green. Unfortunately, I have mostly orange centerpieces here. So that does not mean that we can just solve the orange face here and just leave it and say, hey, it's good. We have to get all the green centers in this face. So that's going to take a bit of work, but that's okay. Now, what you're going to do here is you are, see, this green centerpiece here is in the top left, so I want to get something in the top right to pair up with that. Now, if this L were in a position like this, I couldn't very well rotate it down and be happy with that. I would have to find something that, or one of the green centers that stands alone in a direction, but can also pair up with this green centerpiece in the upper left. So I would need that alternate green piece to be in the upper right. So I'm going to turn this till I find, I'm going to turn this face till I find that perfect piece. And no, this one will go down into the bottom right. And, oh yay, this one will go into the upper right. That's perfect. So now I see I have this bar here, so you may think, I want to turn this up like that so I can finish off the face. Doesn't quite work like that. See, we want this face, ignore that for a second, this is blue, so we want green to be down here. So we want this face to be green. So what we can do is start off by turning that and setting an anchor point for the green face. Now all we have to do is turn this, bring it down, nope, not going to do that. We can bring it down here, turn this so that the orange is on this side and will automatically pair up with this. And now we've solved the centers. Another situation that you may end up with. See, I've got my yellow, or my white, my yellow, my blue, and my red faces solved, but I don't have my orange and green. You can do the same, okay, imagine this face looked exactly like this face. If this face looked like this face, you would know what to do. It would just be to rotate that thing. But since it's not, this face is a checkerboard. And what we do here is we're going to have to make an L. So I don't want to rotate this down because that'll break up this bar. So what I want to do is I want to rotate this over here so that this has a clear path down. Then I'm creating an L. But I need to get this green piece up into this spot so it makes a bar here. So all I have to do is turn this and bring it up. And now you know what to do from here. I have to have these in the same spot so that I can bring this down, rotate it, bring it up, and the centers are solved. Now, if your situation from the get-go was this, or this, or this, or this, I think you get the idea. All you have to do is make sure the corresponding colors were in the same plane, and rotate either up or down, doesn't matter. So, and then bring it down, turn it across, so that now they are across from each other, and bring it up in such a way that green is across from blue, red is across from orange, and red is to the right of white, and blue is on top of white. And now your centers are solved.